By now everyone knows what a Hearthstone mini set is, the collection of 38 cards released after each expansion. But you might not know that the first mini set was released after the Madness at the Darkmoon Faire expansion, which means that all expansions before that had none. Welcome back to Season 2 of Mini Set Miracles, a series where I try to make a mini set for all the Hearthstone expansions that don't have one. Last time I made a mini set for the Blackrock Mountain adventure set, and in this episode I'll be making a mini set for the adventure that came after, the League of Explorers. The League of Explorers adventure set told the story of the Explorers League as they were battling against the villainous Reform. Well, the Explorers League won, and we never saw Reform again. Well, now the Explorers League is back to finish their explorations uninterrupted. Welcome to Excavation Uldaman. Let's start off with one of the legendaries in this mini set, Grimlock. Grimlock is a 5-mana 4/3 neutral legendary minion, and when you play him, you get to choose 3 different enemies, and Grimlock will then throw a spear at each of them, dealing 3 damage each. But one of the spears is secretly poisonous. You won't know which one as it's random each time, but maybe with the right luck, you will hit the perfect target with the poisoned spear. The cards in the League of Explorers adventure were a bit all over the place, with no overlapping themes or mechanics. So I made a couple cards for this mini set that simply reference some of the cards from the adventure. This includes this legendary, Ironaya.
None may steal the secrets of the makers.
In the adventure set, Paladin got the Keeper of Uldaman card that would set a minion stats to 3/3. Well, Ironaya is kind of an upgraded version of that card. Ironaya is a 5-mana 5/6 legendary minion for Paladin that will set the stats of the next 3 minions your opponent plays to 3/3. This effect could have a huge impact if your opponent is running big minions, but if they have small minions, it might instead be a downside, so be careful if you decide to run Ironaya. Now is probably a good time to mention that this mini set will follow a certain rule set, the same as Season 1 of Mini Set Miracles. You can just see the rules for yourself here. Anyway, many of the remaining cards are references to creatures and beings found within the Uldaman dungeon in WoW. But these cards were also made to support some of the cards from the adventure set. Ancient Stonekeeper, for example, can be really powerful if you've already played a Forgotten Torch from the main set, as it can then be used to find and copy your Roaring Torch. Obsidian Sentinel can be discovered by your museum curators and can help you find an excavated evil. Jadespine Basilisk has a great death rattle to copy with your unearthed raptors. And finally, Stonevault Ambusher is an easy way to fill your board for your reliquary seekers. I've also made this card, Stonevault Seer. This card will let you choose between the Nikiv Medallion, which gives a minion +2/+2 and Divine Shield for 1 mana, or the Shaft of Soul, which will draw 2 cards for 1 mana. But if you manage to get both the medallion and the shaft in your hand, they will combine into the Staff of Prehistoria. This is a 4-mana weapon with 4 attack and 2 durability, and after your hero attacks with it, it will deal 8 damage split among all enemies. Or how about this legendary spell for Warrior, the Lost Dwarves? This is an 8-mana spell that will summon a 5/3 Balok with Rush, a 4/4 Eric the Swift who deals 2 damage to a random enemy at the end of your turn, and a 3/5 Olaf with Taunt. But each of the Lost Dwarves will be stronger while you control all 3 Lost Dwarves. While you control all 3, Balok will also be immune while attacking. Eric will deal 5 damage to a random enemy at the end of your turns instead of 2. And finally, Olaf will take half damage, rounded up. So far the cards in this mini set have been a bit random and unrelated, but that's not the case for the remaining cards. You may have wondered a bit about the name of this mini set, Excavation Uldaman. Well, that's not coincidental, because the remaining cards all feature the return of a beloved keyword, Excavate. But this time you won't be excavating Azurite, but one of the many treasures found within Uldaman. This is a concept I've played with before in Season 1 of Mini Set Miracles. In the mini set I made for Saviors of Uldum, you were able to excavate an Uldumite treasure. Well, the treasures in Uldaman are a little different, as you can see here. For starters, the Uldaman treasures are weaker than past excavate rewards. That's because they will be much easier to excavate, as you'll see in a sec. But unlike past versions of Excavate, this version is available to all classes, and when you reach the legendary reward, you will always excavate the Discs of Norganon, the most valuable treasure found within Uldaman. The Discs of Norganon costs 4 mana and lets you discover a Titan minion from any class, and will then reduce its cost by 4. Like I said, excavating an Uldaman treasure is a little easier than previous excavations, as all the cards allow you to excavate more than once, as you can see here. I've also made this neutral tool to excavate, the Dustbelcher Digger. This is a 6 mana 6/7 neutral minion that will excavate an Uldaman treasure when played, but the Digger also has a 50% chance to find a piece of junk instead. The pieces of junk are the same rewards you could get from the Dust Bunny card: a coin, a rock, banana, or a knife. The very last card I made is the final boss of the Uldaman dungeon, Arcadus.
Who dares awaken Arcadus?
Arcadus is a 6 mana 4/5 neutral legendary minion, and when you play him, if you've excavated twice, he will deal 3 damage to all enemies. But if you haven't, he will instead excavate an Uldaman treasure twice. There you have it, a mini set for the League of Explorers. I hope you enjoyed this return to mini set miracles. If so, please leave a like and subscribe for more episodes. Next episode will be a mini set for One Night in Karazhan, Hearthstone's last adventure set. But before that, my next custom expansion will release, Secrets of the Scarlet Crusade. This expansion will launch at the end of this month or sometime in early December, but I'm afraid there won't be any new videos until then, though perhaps I'll find time to make some YouTube shorts. That's it for today, thanks for watching and I will see you next time!